Good morning, everyone. This is Jeff from the CyberPro podcast. Today, my guest is Jon, not John Smith, not John Jones, but I'm going to let Jon tell you a little bit about who he is and what he does.
Hey, I'm Jon Sternstein. I'm the founder and CEO of Stern Security. Many people know us by our product, Velocity. It's a SaaS product that does cybersecurity program management and internal and third-party risk. And I started the company 8.5 years ago.
Wonderful. Love talking to experienced CEOs like yourself. Can you share with us kind of the most fascinating aspect or something along the journey in the past 8 years, which you'd like to share with our viewers?
Sure. I mean, when I look back at the last 8 years, I think the thing that stands out the most is just how much of an impact I believe we've made in all of these customers that we work with. I remember before starting the company, I worked in healthcare within an organization. I worked at a credit union within an organization. And I said, somehow in my career, I want to make sure I help as many companies as possible. And looking back and seeing what we've done within the company and seeing how every day we're working with another organization, I think that's the thing that really stands out the most. Tough to see when you're in the moment, but if you look back at the last 8 years, like you just mentioned, that's really what stands out to me.
Yeah. I'm going to go off the reservation here and skip around with some questions, but you just hit the crust of it. And I want to kind of drill down into that, where you said it's about the journey, right? And it's about the impact that each of us can make at basically securing the world that we live in. So let's talk about that. What can each of us do to make an impact from where we are in our journey in securing the world that we live in?
Yeah, that's a great question. Each of us really does play a part. I remember struggling with this earlier on in my career. I remember when I was a cybersecurity analyst, I was thinking, what am I really doing to help with these problems? I look and see these major news articles about cyber attack, and I'm thinking, what can I, with my limited knowledge in this field, do to actually help out? And I realized, all right, well, I am helping out. I'm helping. When I was at the financial institution, I said, I'm securing all this account and financial information for individuals. I'm playing my part within this organization, and this organization is helping out thousands and thousands of individuals with their financial security. So I realized, even though I felt like I was just a cybersecurity analyst, just my little contribution was really making a big impact. And so I encourage everybody to think about what they're doing to complete their task, to increase their knowledge, and it really is making a difference in the larger scheme of things.
Yeah. Wow. This is awesome. You just said something else which made me go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, where you said sometimes, when we sit and we do our tasks and we do our job, we don't actually realize what an impact that we're making to the folks to our left and to our right and in front of us, things that we can't even see. So as part of that journey of getting to understand who we are and the impact that we make, what are some of the things that we can do to stop and actually look around to see the impact that we're making so that we can iterate, evolve, and get better at it?
Yeah, that's great. There's a lot of things that each of us can do. One, I would encourage everybody to play their part in the cybersecurity community, join some of the local cybersecurity organizations, and also talk about what you're able to talk about, what you're doing. I would encourage individuals to present at their local security conferences as well. That's one way you can show what you have been doing and also really inspire others to do the same. And you can do this no matter what level you are at. I mean, a lot of the cybersecurity conferences really encourage first-time speakers. So no matter what level you're at, you can really play an impact in there. And then I'd also encourage you to think about how your contributions within your own cybersecurity department are playing in the larger strategic role of the company that you're working in. Sometimes if you don't take a step back to think about that or even ask your team, I mean, it's hard to see that connection. But once you do, your work becomes that much more meaningful.
Community. Would that be a fair word to use?
Community. Great. Yep.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. All right. So I'm going to pull back with this last question on the good stuff.
All right.
When we talk to experienced CEOs and we always try to ask them to give their viewpoint on the following question. When we ask the question, cybersecurity is a top concern that we're all dealing with. That's the whole point of this podcast. But from your viewpoint, what does that mean to you?
I mean, when I hear a company, I mean, we hear that all the time. Companies say cybersecurity is a top concern of ours. I want to turn that statement into more actionable and say, instead of it just being a top concern, I want these companies to say this is a top priority of ours. So concern, you always hear that when there's an incident that happens, they say, well, cybersecurity is a big concern of ours. So I want to see these companies put the cybersecurity in their strategic plan and say, this is a focus of ours, not just because of legal and compliance reasons, but because we actually care about the people that we're servicing here.
Actionable and results oriented. That's what I got.
Exactly. Correct. Absolutely.
Awesome. That's the end of our podcast, but we're going to end on a fun note. Can you share a piece of retro technology that makes you smile?
Oh man, I think every time I see a original NES console, that is what does it for me. So think about all the awesome times I've had on that, many hours spent on that console.
You're smiling, I'm smiling. We just revealed to the world how old we actually are.
That's right.
Jon, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for watching the Cyber Pro podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on new podcasts and bonus content.